Rand Paul is polling horribly in the Republican primary, and he's continuing to say questionable things on the campaign trail. We have another example of that today. Let's listen.
I go to college campuses. I spend quite a bit of time on Bernie. I say, look, there's nothing sexy or cool about socialism. There's the implication of force that has to be used, and there's also the understanding, or needs to be understanding, that socialism is anti-choice. It takes away the choice of individuals to decide what they want to sell or what they want to buy. And if you choose to challenge the state, they have to get rid of you. They have to arrest you, or they have to eliminate you. This is why Stalin killed millions and millions of people. Mao Zedong killed millions and millions of people, because socialism ultimately requires force, and there's nothing good about this. Also, just from a practical purpose, it just doesn't work. The reason we won the Cold War is because the engine of capitalism defeated the engine of socialism. And people need to understand why we were once great and why we still have lingering greatness. It's because of freedom. And capitalism, freedom of exchange, they're all the same thing.
So this is now the second time that he did that, where he compares Bernie Sanders not to socialists, to communists. You gave me Stalin, you gave me Mao, you gave me the former Soviet Union. Rand, if you're using those things as examples of socialism, you're simply incorrect. You don't know your political science terms, you don't know your definitions, and you don't know your history. That's communism. That's not the same thing as socialism. All he's saying, Rand, is let's have universal health care, let's have universal education, let's have universal child care, let's have a good infrastructure spending, let's stop our stupid wars. He's not trying to abolish capitalism. He's not trying to kill anybody. But this, when you can't beat him in the realm of ideas, strawman him. Strawman. Stalin, Mao, communism, the Soviet Union, Bernie Sanders. See, I said them all in the same sentence, therefore there must be some kind of connection. No, there's not a connection. You fucking made it up. And then even to the point of, well, socialism is, it's force. Every form of government, by definition, is force. When you pay your taxes, you have to pay your taxes. There's punishment behind that if you don't pay your taxes. Therefore, whether you're capitalist and you have really low taxes and all you have is a court system and police, it's still based on force. Or whether you're a social democracy like Scandinavia, and you have universal health care and you fund other things, it's still backed by force. Any form of organized government has some level of force involved if there's any taxes, and every modern government has taxes. So it's such a shitty argument. And then finally, when he says socialism is anti-choice, no, it's not anti-choice. What you're doing is you're setting up a safety net where there's a minimum quality of life for anybody that's born into your society. So, off the table, like I've already said roughly 80 times in the past month, off the table, education, healthcare, a roof over your head, basic necessities. Then outside of that, what do you want, Rand? You want the freedom to die? You want the freedom to not have healthcare? The freedom to not be educated? Outside of having the basics met, which is what Bernie's in favor of, yeah, it's a capitalist society. You go out and make of your life whatever you want to make of your life. He's not against that. So again, you're simply strawmanning him, and your version of society, a purely libertarian Ayn Rand-esque society, or one flavor or another of that, there are no places in the world like that today that have better outcomes than, for example, the places that have adopted Bernie's philosophy of social democracy. Again, like Norway, Denmark, Iceland, Sweden, and the rest of them. We have evidence to back up our form of government working. You don't.